Hey guys, Joe here. Today we're going to talk about fitness mistake number 4. And this is low water intake, or basically be dehydration if you want to look at it like that. Now, people overlook this. As a matter of fact, there are so many mixed views on the web if you go on there and look at it. Like, does water affect fat loss? Does water help with fat loss? You know, what does it do exactly? And the truth is, water does affect your ability to lose body fat, which we'll talk about in a second. But it's so critical for many other reasons that people overlook. And if you understand why water is so critical, I think you'll start drinking more water right now. Matter of fact, you'll probably pause the video halfway through, go get some water, start drinking it, if you understand the importance of this. So let's dive into this. Basically, let's talk about some dehydration side effects, and you're going to understand why it's so critical to get water in. First of all, the brain function. Brain function is so critical by water. You know, I say like 70% of our body is made of water weight. Well, we have to have water. Water is critical, so if we're dehydrated, we affect parts of our body, our organs and stuff like that. So our brain function, the perspective and cognitive part of our brain will literally shut down. And the cognitive part of brain, just so you understand, is basically like the ability to think about things or to process things. So if we don't have that ability to do that, we find ourselves like, oh, where did I put my keys at? Like, well, you walk into a room, you're like, what the heck was I going in the room for? You forget because of the lack of water, okay? Next thing is increased joint injuries. Yes, if we don't have water in our body gets dehydrated. So then our joints become really dried out, and we don't have lubrication there, and then we start jumping around doing kind of stuff, and it's just like kind of like this hard surface on each other. So we end up with more joint injuries. We want to keep things lubricated as much as possible. And the decreased muscle function. You guys, this is so important. Matter of fact, over here I'm going to show you guys an example why this is so critical. If we're dehydrated, we can lose 30% of our strength. So the best way of kind of analogy of looking at this that I can give you guys is like, think about a tractor or a backhoe, and it's got this bucket that spins and picks things up and stuff, and you pick up really heavy equipment, right? Well, if you take and drain out the hydraulic fluid in the hydraulic pumps and stuff, it's not going to have the same strength anymore. And that's like what water is in the muscle. It's like a hydraulic pump for the muscle that allows us to lift stuff. So we can lose up to 30% of our strength. So let's just use an example of someone lifting 200 pounds like in a chest press, say, or something, and they're going to lose 30% of their strength. We know that in this example, that's going to be 60 pounds of strength that they're going to lose. Okay, they're going to lose that much in their weight. So if we take 200 minus your 60 now, and figure it out, we have 140. That means that you just went from bench pressing 200 pounds to 140 pounds. That's a huge drop in strength. And that's where sometimes we get in the funk of like, what is wrong with me? Like, what am I doing wrong? Did I do something wrong with my diet and all this stuff? It could be simply water intake is all it is. Or, you know, if this is a situation you're experiencing a lot, start drinking more water and find out what happened, because you're losing the hydraulic pump that actually works with the muscles to actually provide the fluids it needs to push, and the same thing as a backhoe of having that fluid in there to give the strength to it, the pressure behind it to push, okay? So make sure we get the fluid in there so that doesn't happen. And the next thing, this is where the fat loss part really comes into play. I mean, we go back to decreased muscle function. If we don't have that strength in there, we can't lift weights and push ourselves real hard because we're going to feel fatigued, and our brain's not functioning right on top of that, so we can't really push ourselves because we don't feel like it, right? But this is the main function, the kidney function. This is the one that's kind of overlooked a lot by people. See, we got to have water come into the body so it can secrete and get rid of toxins through the kidneys itself. And if it can't do that because we're dehydrated, the kidney kind of basically looks for liver assistance. It kind of knocks on the door and says, hey, can you come help me out? Like, I'm not working properly right now. Can you come help me? And then the liver kicks in and starts helping the kidney do its function of getting rid of toxins. But what you're missing is the liver is primary role is to get rid of obviously the signs of toxins of, you know, if we put alcohol in our system and stuff like that. But on top of that, it really aids in the metabolic process of dropping body fat. So if the liver can't metabolically get in there and help remove body fat because it's assisting the kidneys, you're never going to lose body fat, simply because you did not take enough water. So you guys, water is so critical. Now, here's just a rule of thumb if you guys aren't doing this. Again, I would suggest getting out a piece of paper and then jot down how much water you drink throughout the day. A good rule of thumb just to start out with is 96 ounces of water per day. Okay, so you know those liter bottles, it'd be about 3 of those, just an example. Shoot for 96 ounces and see how you're doing. You might find yourself feeling bloated all day long with water because you're not used to drinking that much water. But again, as you get into a system of doing it, your kidneys start functioning better, you just start peeing it out like you're supposed to, and now you're at the point where you're properly hydrated, so your brain's functioning again, you have better joints so they're not hurting or they're not achy, you know, you don't have that decreased muscle function, you're back to lifting heavier weights again, and then your kidneys are doing the job like it's supposed to, so now the liver can remove that body fat that we're burning off in the gym and get rid of it to get good results and best changes. So you guys, the goal for you is to shoot for 96 ounces per day of water. Remember, that's 3 of those liter bottles of water. And give it a try. Start putting it to play. Give it action of doing it every single day. Make water like a priority, like it's going to be carried around with you all the time, like your cell phone or something. Because if you get that water in your body, you're going to feel a lot of difference. Okay? Start putting it to play and stay tuned for the next step of these fitness mistakes, and I'm going to help you guys out and keep making some life-changing journeys over the next couple of years or days or whatever it is for you guys. And we're going to see you guys soon. Thanks.